There's an old Jewish folk tale about a king who woke up one morning to discover that his son, the prince, thought that he was a chicken. The king was beside himself. He called the great doctors, the psychologists and psychiatrists of the land. He called the clergy to try to exorcise his son's spirit. Nothing helped. Finally, in desperation, he called the town rabbi. The rabbi arrived. He saw the prince under the banquet room table, naked, clucking, flapping his arms, and pecking at food on the floor. The rabbi said to the king, "Your Majesty, give me 1 week. I'll have your son acting like a prince again." Fine. Well, the next day, the prince came down. He was under the table. He realized there was someone there with him. It was the rabbi, naked, flapping his arms, clucking, and pecking at food. The prince said, "What are you doing?" The rabbi said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm a chicken. I'm also a chicken." "Oh, okay. We'll be chickens together." And they spent the day together on the floor, pecking at food. The next day, the rabbi was there again, but this time he was wearing clothes. The prince said, "What are you doing?" He said, "What do you mean?" "Well, you're wearing clothes." "So? Well, you're a chicken." "Okay, where does it say that a chicken can't wear clothes?" Interesting point. So the prince tried putting on clothes. The next day, he found the rabbi sitting in a chair at the table, eating. He said, "What are you doing?" He said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, you're a chicken." "Okay, I'm a chicken." "Where does it say a chicken can't sit at the table and eat?" And every day, the rabbi added some form of human behavior until, at the end of a week, the prince was acting like a human being again. The king was ecstatic. He said, "Thank you so much." He turned to his son. He said, "My son, I was so upset when you thought you were a chicken." The prince said, "I am a chicken." The king was furious. He turned to the rabbi. He says, "You said you would cure my son." "No, I said I would get your son to act like a prince again. If he acts like a prince, what difference does it make if he thinks he's a chicken?" And over the course of time, the prince became so accustomed to acting like a prince that he forgot that he thought he was a chicken. Sages tell us that who is wise? One who learns from every person. This is the way children learn, but it applies to adults just as much. We have to surround ourselves with people of quality, people who have integrity and empathy and courage and self-discipline, because that affects us, that transforms us into people of quality. And at the same time, we have to remember that others are learning from us. And that means we are obligated to conduct ourselves with dignity and integrity and empathy and self-discipline and courage. That's how we contribute to creating a better world. There is so much acrimony and divisiveness in the world today, and it all comes from ideology and philosophy and politics. But all those ideas, they don't have to tear us apart. If we conduct ourselves with self-respect and we extend that respect to others, those differences in thinking can actually become a source of strength that create a more vibrant and enlightened society. I'd like to leave you with one final thought. It's an old story, a sort of an aphorism. It's been attributed to many different sources. Don't know where it comes from. But it's an older person reflecting on his life, and he says, "When I was very young, I wanted to change the world. I realized I wasn't going to change the world, so I thought I'll change my country. As I got older, I saw I wasn't going to change my country, so I said I'll change my community. I didn't change my community, but I thought I'll change my family. In the end, I didn't change my family, but I thought I'll try to change myself." That's the story, but I'd like to add one line to it. "And by changing myself, I changed the world." I'm Yonason Goldson, wishing you a year of blessing, inspiration, and success in becoming the best version of yourself.